welcome to the Sims 4 Speedbuild. I'm Alita and today I'll be showing you this house I created in Oasis Springs on a 20 by 15 lot. So I really enjoyed building this house. I did have to try and first give it a go off camera because I actually tried to attempt to build a small house and it was so difficult for me. Like I tried so many different things and hopefully I'll use them for other builds. But for this build, it did take a while for me to get to this, so that's probably why, like, you saw me kind of draw it out with the wall tool. But yeah, so this house I really love. It actually comes out to be really nice. I did not think that I would actually find something that I like so much, and I did try to use some of the kind of design styles that you've seen in the past from me, and try to use it in like a cool and like a different way. I'm really happy about how I kind of use different kind of roofing techniques and different like platforms, and then you'll see some of the glass roofs. And I also tried to build something that was a dynamic kind of modern build that just had kind of loads of elements thrown in, and that it was like kind of a rich couple that lived here, and they just kind of went all out to try and design this house in Oasis Springs. And another thing that I tried to do was try to just make it feel a part of the environment, because I know with this is kind of like one of the nicest areas of Oasis Springs, and I think many of you have probably heard that Oasis Springs, the lighting isn't so great to build in it, but I do kind of like just the overall kind of vibe of that kind of world. And I think these builds are just perfect, like ultra modern, kind of like builds that you would see in like Vegas or something. Like they give that kind of vibe off, and yeah, I just think it really works in the environment. But here I wanted to use the different columns because I haven't used all the columns in base game before. So I wanted to use them here, and then just trying to give them kind of like shelter from the sun, because I imagine it being really hot in this world as well. So I just kind of wanted to block most of the windows off so that it's kind of have that kind of, I don't know. I don't know, I just imagine something like they'd have like cool breeze like coming through the window if you have like, I don't know, blocking the sunlight from coming in, rather than just having that, like warm air just coming through your window. So yeah, so I really like that idea. And then this is the first time as well I've kind of mixed. Actually, no, yeah, it is. It's the first time that I've mixed just the normal roofing and then the flat roofing using the platforms. So I do actually use some platforms within this house. I think it's only one step though, so it's not like crazy, so don't expect anything like crazy inside, but the interior is really nice. And yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite houses so far. Like, I think I say that every build, but I really do, like, I feel like my builds are getting better each time, even with the same pack. So yeah, which is really good. And then here with the kitchen, I did kind of want this archway between the living room and kitchen, purely because I just kind of liked how you would like have it separate and how you could see through by the cabinets. And I just thought it was like a nice touch, but I did have to move them forward a bit, and then yeah, I had to play around the cabinets to make it work, because normally when you do add it to the wall, it'll give that little slab that comes up at the back, and I didn't want that, so that's how I tried to like just meddle around with them to try and see how it works. But I did kind of go with like a kind of industrial theme, but then also just really modern at the same time. So I think I pulled it off, and yeah, I think it does come together as well in the end. So many things have happened since I've been away. We've had new releases of packs, so we've had Cottage Living, Dream Home Decorator, and the new kit, the Industry Loft kit. So since I've been away, so many things have come out, and I've definitely been watching videos about them all, and they honestly look so good. Really, really good. I'm actually really happy with what the Sims team has done. Like, just, I think I said this before, the packs that they've been coming out with recently have been really good. Like, even the items, like, back from base game to now, the detail, like, even the leather sofa that's in the Industry Loft kit, the sofa looks great, like the leather looks fantastic, and they're just upping their game. And I think definitely with, I don't know how many it's been since the first game came out, but it's been a long time, so they have definitely had time to develop it. But yeah, they've done a really good job. And I've got a surprise. I actually there was a free trial for city living, and I actually did use the trial and use the tester, and I have a build for an apartment to be uploaded to and shared with you guys. So I'm really happy about that, 'cause that's my first apartment that I've renovated. And yeah, I love doing apartments. It's so fun. And don't worry, I'm still going to be doing base game builds only, like predominantly most of the time. It'll just be now and then when I do an apartment or I get something with a pack and I really want to build something, it'll just be like kind of a one off. But here I'm actually using some art by some gallery art artists, and this really changed the house for me because some of the art in the game, it's just, I don't know, like after you've used it once, it's like it's just not that useful again. Like it's definitely for one type of interior, and these, like using the gallery is just so helpful, and it makes such a difference. Like I love that wall art collage, and yeah, just things like that in the gallery. That's just so much more helpful, especially trying to create an a modern interior. So yeah, they really helped, and I will leave the link in the description box of who the creator was for these gorgeous pieces of art. But yeah, so I just kind of carried on with that modern theme, and I just kind of thought like floating counters are kind of just the new thing that's kind of modern, when they don't touch the floor. So yeah, I always think as well it's kind of easy to clean. Like you just go round and like yeah, it's just like a new modern ways of moving furniture. So yeah, that's just, I thought, just a nice little touch here and there. And then I combined these sofas together just to make an L-shaped sofa, and I put them storage units underneath as well. Well, it's actually a coffee table, but I thought it looked so nice under there. But it was just such a shame that the Sims wouldn't sit down, so I did delete them in the end because it didn't work. But they do look good like that, so hopefully I will find a way of how I can merge the sofa and the coffee table together. But with the table there, I did try to change the colour, but then I just got rid of it because it didn't really work. But I did merge these bookshelves together, and I just put some books to try and make it look a bit like it's put together properly. And then for the office section, I just wanted this to be kind of like they work from home, and this is their office, this is their den, and this is just where they get the work done. And I just really wanted like key views from outside. And I do actually place like flower pots on both sides, so the Sims are actually looking out onto something nice. I think this office area is really nice. And yeah, it's definitely one of my favourite offices that I've done. I don't think I've actually done, I know I have, I think I've done quite a few in every build, but this one's definitely the nicest I think that I've done, that are kind of like more modern and fit into this design. So I didn't really know what to do with this small little walkway here, so I just decided to the Sims could just sit there, read a book, and just look out to the really nice views. And so that's what I kind of did with that area. And one thing that I think we do need in the new Sims game, or one of the new Sims packs, is to have different frames. So I feel like you could either have black or white, and then I think it's gold. And I don't know, sometimes the black is really harsh, and then the white tones either look like too grey and it doesn't look that white, and then that weird gold colour is, I don't know, like luckily it was like kind of matched because of the sofa, because of the arms on that sofa there. But yeah, really it's kind of hard to kind of fit it in and make them suit like different interiors. So yeah, I think different new picture frames would really help. And then with the bathroom, I just kind of went for like a blackout theme, but I wanted to separate the room a little bit, just so, because of the shower is facing like one awkward way, I didn't want that just wall there to be facing the sink. So I thought I would actually put like a proper wall in between, so it kind of just separates them two areas, like where the sink and the shower is. But this bathroom is really nice. It's like definitely try to mix the blue and black, and I kind of found different colour schemes that the Sims kind of use a lot. Like they use a lot of blue and black, and then a lot of fuchsia, like this kind of like pinky reddish colour that you will see next in my apartment build. Then here, because it's such a light and airy house, especially this bedroom, it has so many windows, and plus it has the skylight and then the lights around the roof as well. I just thought that black would be okay, because even though it's not a big room, but because there's so much lighting, you could get away with having black walls. So that's what I did. and it actually comes out really nice. And yeah, I did not think I would actually like a black room, but no, it does look really good in the end. And then I use a bit of hints of yellows, because it took me ages though to decide what hint of colour, because I just didn't like any of the colours that were with that dresser, that base game dresser. I didn't like any of them, and then I finally decided on the yellow one, but you will see me change it a lot, so just ignore that part. And then for this build, I do use the tool mod just here and there, just to alter some things. And then I'm actually going to leave just a little tag in my description box of where, if you want to install the tool mod for yourself, you can, because it's by Twisted Maxi, and it's just a really good mod for you to just move things in game which you can't do in just like the normal base game settings. So yeah, so I'll link that below. I also thought it was nice how the contrast of the black room and then everything else being light and airy. So I tried to do that, like even the bathroom, it's dark, and then you've got the living room, which is light. I just wanted to keep that theme kind of just going through, so that when you enter a room, it's like a nice new change. And then I did use some more gallery art here, and then I did try to do a collage, but then I just thought no, like these pictures are perfect with like the hints of yellow, which I thought was really nice. And then I do put a guitar in here as well, and then just things to spruce the room up. And I think it actually looks quite tropical in there, which is nice with all the plants and stuff. And then for the outside, I wanted to place some planting beds just around the house, because I just thought it went with the outer landscape with the random planting beds as well. So I thought that was just a nice touch. And then for the planting beds, I just tried to mirror the plants that were around the outer landscape. And the tool mod actually really helped, because I think hopefully the Sims team will update parts of the platform, because when you try to put a plat down or any kind of item next to a platform, it will just hover and it won't go to the ground. So the tool mod just does, it's just a lifesaver to try and come in and save the day, so that you can just move it down into the ground, which is like so good. So I think the planting beds actually turn out really nice, and the rocks as well just add a really nice touch to each planting beds that I do around this house. And then for the garden, I do add a small little pool, just because I thought like this is kind of like a person who is quite wealthy, so that I thought they'd just have like a small pool where they could do laps and just like a really good workout, because I think that's the only kind of sporting activity that I have in this house, because I haven't done a home gym or anything like that. So, and especially with the nice weather, I thought it would be perfect to add a pool. And then I do add a barbecue, and then also a bar as well, which I think just looks so good into this canopy area. And I did see like a few inspo pictures on Pinterest where they kind of used this canopy section and then but made it a part of the house as well. And I just thought it's like a really nice idea while adding lights and everything. So yeah, I think the garden comes out really nice. I didn't actually think it would come out this good. Like, I had some ideas of where to start, and I think that's really good. Like, if you are struggling, I think either going on Pinterest and searching for images will just really help you kind of put the first item down, because after you start placing certain items and you keep adding to it, you get the feel of more of the vibe and what kind of you're going for. And that's what kind of I do for all of my builds. And then I did use some of the debug items in here, and you'll see with that fence is also a debug item, and I think that's the first time I've used it as well. So for the planting beds, I did use this this debug brick, and I just wanted to outline the planting beds just with something so it would look kind of neat, and they would have a gardener that would come, and yeah, because they're wealthy, so they can afford that. And yeah, I think it just looks really nice, and some kind of view as well for that little space in the house. I didn't really know what to do, and I just put a chair there. So I thought it would be really nice to look out and just have a view around Oasis Springs. So I think that's really nice. And then I'm not sure if you noticed, but I did use a few new items within this game that I haven't used before, especially like the open fire, and I actually put like some flowers in the living room instead of just a normal fireplace, because I thought it's hot. Like, do they really want a fire as well? So yes, I think that's really nice. And then for the front section, I tried many different patterns with the planting beds at the front, because I just didn't, I don't know why, I just couldn't get it to work for a really long time. Then I finally came up with this, and this is really nice. And I tried searching for that flower in the landscape in the debug menu, and I could not find it. I just searched for ages trying to get it, and I just couldn't find it anywhere. And then when I finally found it, it just, the build just came together. Like the front just really tied in with the rest of the landscape. And then for the debug menu, I use these hanging plants, these wall hanging plants, and then I merged that purple flower so that it would just kind of go with the purple theme, because all on the outside is kind of like purple flowers and then whites and then greens. I have seen that Cottage Living has some really good debug plants as well. Like I know that their menu is so good with their plants, and they've really like gone all out with their debug menu, and it just makes me wonder, why don't the Sims team just add the debug items into the game? Because it would just save so much time, and you're just like, why do I have to put a cheat to find all these items? Like it kind of doesn't really make sense. I did try Twisted Maxie's build and buy with their organized debug, and oh my gosh, that is a lifesaver. You actually might see like through this build that the tool mod was being a bit weird, like, and I think it was because since the game has been updated or something like that, it must have messed up the tool mod and it just wasn't showing up properly. So I had to actually install it all over again, and that's when I first tried the organized debug, and oh my gosh, it is such a lifesaver. And then here I just wanted to add more plants around the landscape, and I thought them purple plants on the roof just looked so good. Like after I did that, I was like, yes, this is the one now because before that time, I don't know why, it wasn't all cohesive for me. And then after I did that and put the flowers on the top, it really was, and it just really added to the build and just made it just so much nicer and more colourful. And then I just added another planting bed over here just because I wanted the whole area just to look nice. Like all parts of this house is just really expensive, really looked after. So that's the kind of thing that I wanted to go for. And that's why that you'd see like some outdoor planting beds just all around this house. And then I do found some random debug um, cactuses as well, which I thought was really nice and just really cool rather than just the normal ones. So I do add in a few here and there at the front and the back. And then that's pretty much it with the build. Like I think that's all I've done, and then I think I do add some outdoor lighting as well. There will be some screenshots of the inside, and I'm really proud of this build. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and if you want more in this style, please comment below. And before I go, you will see me add in these wall LED lights, and I put them around the roofing area where you'll see the skylight, and then also the holes just above the driveway. And that just really just brightens the area up. It looks so good at night time. It looks really expensive, and I just think it really adds a nice touch. I think this would be a really nice idea to do it like with a huge mansion, and I'll see how I can do that and kind of incorporate that into more builds, because I didn't think they'd actually do that, and it was actually quite nice finding that out. But here you just see them adding all the finishing touches. I changed some of these pillows, and then adding some detail as well over these windows just to block some of the light that's coming in. So this is the end of the video now. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.